Hello, this is a short review video on Carinthia's Defense Force sleeping bag, and as you can see this is a military style mummy shaped sleeping bag and it's meant for 3 seasons. The comfort limit of the sleeping bag is minus 15 Celsius degrees and the extreme temperature is minus 38 degrees Celsius. I would say that minus 20 degrees is doable. Any harder minus degrees over that are a little bit difficult, but no worries. You can use this as a modular sleeping bag system with, let's say, Carinthia's Defense 1 and Carinthia's tarp sleeping bags, and you have the option that you either put them on top of this one or you put them inside the sleeping bag system or this sleeping bag, and then you will get, like, if you are using this with the tarp, you will get comfort limit temperature of minus 35 degrees and the extreme temperature is then minus 45 degrees. And I would say that the minus 30 degrees is easily doable without any extra clothing. So this is really warm system. Now let's see about some details. This is now actually inside out. So all the important and interesting bits are on the inside, so now it's much easier to show everything. So what we have is we have a center zipper that is actually quite long. As you can see, it almost goes almost to the end of the bag, and on the inside we have this very nice hefty flap in front of the zipper. So if you have the zipper a little bit open for ventilation or you have it closed when it's really cold, this gives you nice insulation so the heat is not escaping through the zipper so easily. The zipper itself is quite heavy, white anti-snacking plastic one, and it has 2 locks. And this is my regular complaint about sleeping bag systems, usually that the upper lock has pulleys inside and outside, but alas, the lower one only has pulleys on the outside, so opening the lower lock for ventilation is a little bit tricky. Of course you can, well, that's about that. On the outside we have this stone flap with velcro closure, so the zipper is not exposed to the element that much. And on the inside we have these little loops if you want to tie down your liner sheet, if you are using, or liner bag if you are using one of those. And then we have very regular tightening mechanism on the opening. And then we have, of course, if you want to hang this, let's say from a tree, when you are drying it up or something, we have these loops at the foot end. Well, then let's go to the numbers. Numbers are always very interesting. The weight of the sleeping bag with the compression sack is 2042 grams, and this is the model 200. There is 2 models, the 200 and 185, and all the measurements and weights are now for the model 200, that is this one. And so with the compression sack, this model is 2042 grams. Without the compression sack, this weighs 1821 grams, so it's relatively light, considering that it's military sleeping bag and it's 100% synthetic material. And it's, by the way, it's machine washable at home. Measurements of the 200 model, they are not exactly the same as they were in the brochure. This is 220 centimeters long, and from the shoulder width I measured 80 centimeters, and from the foot end I measured 37 centimeters. So it's a relatively large sleeping bag. Let's talk about the materials. This is 100% synthetic sleeping bag, as it is military sleeping bag. The insulation is a material called G-loft, and it's in two separate layers, and the outer and inner material is 100% polyamide. The inner material is called shell trans, and the outer material, this one here, is called shell proof. The shell proof material is, well, I would say it's 100% windproof, and it's quite water repellent, and I would say watertight. The inner material is more softer, it's more breathable, it's really nice against your skin. Let's say if you have to sleep in a t-shirt or something. This is to some extent a little problematic sleeping bag, as this is watertight material, and that means that it doesn't breathe that much, so it keeps or tends to gather moisture rather aggressively. That is a problem, at least for me, because I seem to be sweating a lot when I sleep. But the main idea is, or the main point I'm having is that after one night or after 2 nights of sleeping, if you cannot basically try this in the sun or any warm place, this is starting to be really uncomfortable sleeping bag, and getting a good nice night's rest is going to be difficult, especially if you are basically sleeping in sub-zero temperatures, because this gathers moisture, and then the moisture just condensates below this watertight, non-breathable material. It makes these little ice crystals, and well, those little ice crystals and the moisture in sub-zero temperatures, they will draw the body heat away from you, and you will start feeling cold. And well, some people might say that I was wearing too much clothing. Well, it was minus 15 degrees, and I was wearing this kind of clothes that I have now, and the end result is that I wake up feeling cold as hell, because this doesn't let the moisture out. Well, is this a bad sleeping bag? No, because you can turn this around. That's the one reason this is inside out. Now, when you are having this breathable material facing out, this will let all the moisture much freely away from the sleeping bag. So if it's inside out, this works perfectly. I was skiing last winter for 6 days in a row, meaning 6 nights, and this gathered something like 65 grams of moisture during those 6 nights, and I couldn't try this anywhere in the sun, in a heated building or anything like that. So 65 grams in 6 nights is a really low amount of moisture gathering, and I would say that after 6 nights of sleeping, this worked perfectly. I didn't really see any decrease of performance from the insulation. I would say that if this had been the right way, let's say 2 nights might be on the limit. Well, of course, if you are using this inside out, you probably need a tent or a bivy bag, because this isn't water repellent or watertight at all. So of course it's understandable that the outer material is watertight, as this is a military sleeping bag, and if you have to rest and you don't have a shelter, you must have some sleep. But as long as you are aware that this has a little moisture gathering problem when it's right side out, well, you can always go around that and put it inside out. But anyhow, I recommend this